The first thing to say is, why are pacemakers used in syncope? Pacemakers are used because if the heart rate slows down excessively, the heart is not going to pump blood out. That could cause a person to have syncope. So in those people where the big problem is that the heart rate slows down, you can put in a pacemaker. And what the pacemaker basically does is it sits there and it waits. And you can program it at a certain rate, and if the heart rate falls below that rate, the pacemaker fires. And thereby, if the big problem is that the blood isn't getting to the brain because the heart isn't beating, you sort that problem out. However, some people have a complex form of syncope, so it's not just about the heart rate, it's about the blood pressure as well. So the blood pressure can fall, then the heart rate slows down, and a normal pacemaker will then detect that heart rate and say, if you program it and say it shouldn't go below 40 beats per minute, it will fire at 40 beats per minute. However, the blood pressure is still fallen, so the brain is still without blood, and therefore what you really need to try and prevent the symptoms at that time is to increase the heart rate even further to try and compensate, push more blood to the brain by increasing the heart rate. So standard pacemakers are not doing that. They just sit there and they just fire at the rate they've been programmed. Now what is possible is that you have these algorithms like CLS, continuous loop simulation, which will detect what is happening. So if the heart is they study the ventricle, and if that suggests that the ventricle is having to work a little bit harder because the blood pressure is falling, then they will assist that by increasing the heart rate. And that's how they work. They're more effective, significantly more effective at preventing syncope compared to normal pacemakers. I think that's a decision that your electrophysiologist, the person who puts in the pacemaker, has to make. But in general, if it's a pure heart rate issue, then a simple dual chamber pacemaker may be enough. But if there is a drop in blood pressure before the heart rate is falling, then having something like this would be more effective.